About to conduct the 5K
Oh,
maneuver.
look how it goes. Yeah, that's great.
Sky Crane maneuver has started.
So,
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance
Yeah!
safely on the
Woo!
surface of
Yeah!
Mars. Ready
That's
to begin
amazing.
speaking?
Today we sent robots and rovers to the Mars. Tomorrow, the humans will go to Mars too. Yeah, but remember, the future is unknown and you don't know what will happen next. Well, actually we know what's going to happen. The robots will analyze the planet and then we're gonna go... Yeah, I know this, but what if Mars planet exploded? Or Earth? You can't know the future, can you? Well, I'm not the one who said that. The scientists predict this kind of stuff. Okay. How do scientists predict things that have not happened yet? Well, we will talk about it now. NASA scientists predict that in the year 2100, the asteroid JD37 will collide with the Earth, causing a historical disaster for the Earth and the living things that will be present at that time. Also, scientists predict that the Sun will explode 5 billion years from now, leaving a white dwarf behind it. What makes it possible for the scientists to predict the future? In short, how do scientists predict the future? What makes us wonder about the power of prediction of the scientists is not the shock of the information or its long duration, but our question lies in the accuracy of the prediction. Go and check out the website lifescience.com and it will explain to you the size, composition, and the exact time of the asteroid that will hit the Earth and what we can do to avoid it. The benefits of these predictions that they warn us from a huge disaster such as asteroid impact or sun explosions. So they warn us from what's gonna happen in the future, so we will have opportunity to prepare ourselves for something that will happen in the future, which is technically related to the survival instinct. We will explain today the only ways to predict the future to you. The first method, the limits. In this method, scientists study the limits and the only thing that can happen to something, which they use the physics and chemistry laws in it. As a result, nothing can get out from these laws. For example, a person standing on the edge of a Nevada mountain jumped out of it without any parachute or protective stuff. What is the only thing that can happen? That guy will turn into a barbecue party. But no, really, what are the other possibilities of someone jumping off the edge of a 180-meter mountain without any protection equipment except death? It can't fly or not dying. Everything has its own limit. For example, the human cannot live more than 200 years old. That's why it will be easy to predict someone's age and when he will die. That's how we accurately measure the age of the stars and when they're gonna explode. Why do you look so confident? The human side is not complete. What we know about the universe is a drop, and what we know that we don't know is a lake. And what we don't know that we don't know is an ocean. I didn't get the last. What I'm saying is, the human science is not perfect, and you can't give this kind of predictions and this accuracy. True, perhaps we haven't traveled farther than the moon, and we don't have direct knowledge with many things that happen in the universe, but in return, we have the laws of physics. Nothing can deviate from its course because it is the only description of the capabilities and all possible things of the universe and its features. As a result, we are studying the only possible things for everything in the universe. You cannot predict one day that you will observe a planet moving at the speed of light, because the laws of physics told us that everything in the universe that has mass, it's impossible for it to reach the speed of light. You cannot say that, for example, at any given moment, it is possible for the universe to collapse and destroy all the matter in it. The total and density of dark energy is not stable yet, so we know what will happen. which we explained in the previous videos. What we mentioned now explains the limits for an asteroid, a planet, or the universe, and nothing else can happen for it. You cannot predict something that doesn't have the potential for it. In short, the future of a thing depends on its nature and limits. The second method, similar cases. This method is a bit similar to the first one. In this method, scientists study the similar things that will happen to something. For example, you cannot say that the sun, after it will explode, it will turn into a black hole, because the scientists did not observe any star similar to the mass of the sun turns into a black hole, and stars similar to the sun will turn into a white dwarf after they explode. If you think that scientists maybe did not study the stars more accurate and enough, you must be reminded that scientists have studied the properties of all the stars in our galaxy, which numbered 100,000 million stars since the beginning of 20th century. And so far, we are also studying the stars in the other galaxies. Among the most prominent cosmologists, which they are experts in the study of stars, Johannes Kepler, Anna Freiberg, and Carl Sagan. We are looking at similar stuff in the universe thanks to the universal common mechanics. So we'll know that nothing will get out of the ordinary laws because we have not observed any not ordinary stuff. This method can become more difficult and complicated. For example, chemistry also intervenes in this reaction that occurs in these stars. For example, chemistry studies the amount of materials and elements that the sun burns in time. And it gives us a conclusion that the radiation in the sun is not enough to defeat gravity. And then after it explodes, it will turn into a white dwarf. However, if we study the other stars in the universe and analyze their properties, we will notice that stars that have giant masses will turn into black holes. And if something happened millions of times before with the same result, surely you will get the same result next time. And in fact, this method seems more simple. Why are you laughing? Well, let's suppose the second method. We observed millions of stars similar to the mass of the sun, and they exploded in a similar way. What will happen if the sun exploded in a different way? What to do if something happened in the universe no one have ever seen before? Well, in this case, we call it new facts. That's it? Well, yeah. What, did you expect a scientific name? No, I was just saying. The new information is formed when we discover something new in the universe that will break all the previous laws, and it will be hard to balance the science again, because all laws must be balanced with each other. To put it in this way, let's imagine these cubes as a random data. Random data like the bending of light and the distance of galaxies and gravity. After we determine them, they will turn into information, say relativity, the cosmological constant, and Newton's principle. If we link these information together, it will turn into knowledge or science, and this science will be balanced. But here's the twist. If we discover something new that violates all these laws, we will not add them so easily because there will be many paradoxes and wrong explanations. So we divide it again and arrange it to balance with the rest of the information. This is how we deal with new information. We do anything to predict what will happen in the future. As I said, the survival instinct. I have a question. I can't believe I'm doing this sometime. Yes? Okay, the scientists can predict what will happen 5 billion years from now. But they cannot predict whether it will rain after 5 minutes or not. What is your response for this magnificent human science? First of all, I don't recall saying that human science is magnificent. That's what I heard. And second, This information is very old, and the reason for the wrong prediction at that time is because of the wrong calculation or the butterfly effect. The scientists were using the old system and devices. Now you know how the scientists predict the future. Correct and accurate predictions save us from coming danger and makes us evolve in time faster. That was good. Okay, so what? Don't you have any questions? Oh no, I'm good. But you have to, so I can say we will leave this topic for another video. I don't know, what's the difference between peach and plum? You know what? Forget it. Do not stop wondering and be curious.